Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. This is Joe Shoup. It is Tuesday, September the 5th, and we have an important topic to cover today. And I want to welcome you all and thank you for being here. Sent out a notice about a contact manager, and if you are working with Power of Three, then you understand what that email was about. And it's about discussing a contact manager, autoresponder, and capture pages. So it's important to understand when you're running a business how to run a business. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to do a screen share at the moment here and bring up some important points. So let's go ahead and do that. And once again, I want to welcome you to the Breakfast Club. So if you're sitting there and you've been like the rest of the network marketing, home business, internet marketing world, you're trying to find a way to make money on the internet, trying to find how to actually build a company here and build a residual income. One of the problems is that statistically, 97, 98% of the people struggle with that. And so it's frustrating. And I think people go from company to company trying to say, well, I have a new answer now. I'll do this. Or maybe it's a new company. Maybe they'll make it. Or here's a new product. This should work. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. What has to happen is you have to learn to run an effective business. And that means to go to work. And the second biggest reason for failure in business is poor record keeping. And that's why we want to talk about a contact manager. So let's take a look, first of all, that you should not be using this broadcast and the material here other than sharing it with some people, but all rights are reserved, so no publication should be reproduced or distributed. So just keep that in mind. Now, I want to say another thing. On the call, when you're on the chat, please do not ask what company I'm talking about today when I'm talking about a contact manager. If you want that information, then you just have to send an email to the Breakfast Club broadcast at gmail.com. That's all you got to do. So please don't ask for that information about a contact manager or which autoresponders are you using. We'll do that privately. Don't recommend any in the chat. Please don't do that, or the administrator will remove you. Okay, so we're not here to recruit people to those things. We need to be talking about it. Yes, we're using an autoresponder. We're using a contact manager. We'll be talking about that. So why use a contact manager? Well, first of all, it's important to know what a contact manager is. It's a piece of software that enables users to easily store and find contact information, such as names, addresses, and telephone numbers. Now, think about it for a minute. Business runs and you are paid and people are paid and companies make money when product or service moves from manufacturer to consumer. So money changes hands. And whether you're responsible for that changing of hands of the money, or whether you caused it to happen or you're in the transaction somehow, when you think about it in business, there's a lot of people in one transaction. A car dealership, a lot of people are involved in one transaction. A lot of people have to be paid. Corporate all the way down to the salespeople, secretaries, and receptionists. So all those people are in the middle of a transaction. Now, some of them caused it to happen, most likely the salesperson. So how in the world can you run a business if you don't know who your customers are, who are your prospects, keep track of that? Remember, the second biggest reason for business failure is poor record keeping. So when you're running a home business, you really need to manage the prospects and manage your activity. That's what you have to do. And that's what a contact manager does. The contact manager consists of a few things. One is an autoresponder. And within that autoresponder, there's a capture page. Now, some people are confused about what a capture page is and what a landing page is. A capture page captures people's information. It's what it's designed to do. It's called a lead capture page. So it is sent to an individual, and there's maybe a message to say, click here to view this whatever website, or we're looking for certain people, and click here. And when they do, they go to a capture page. The capture page should consist of about a 1 to 2 minute message with a little bit of information. Nothing about the company, by the way. You want to keep it curious so that people fill out some information to get to the next area. That's what it's called, a lead capture page, because it captures their information when they fill it out. So that only makes sense. A landing page is the page that they land on after filling out the information. So try to keep that straight. So, again, the purpose of it is to acquire the name and email address and phone number of the visitor. So that's what a lead capture page is. Now, we're working with a company. I want to keep this in mind if you're here with Power 3. The company is producing a contact manager or a marketing system, which consists of the contact manager, autoresponders, capture pages. It's being worked on. It is going to be provided to you for the $3 a month membership fee. Now, the system is not built. We are working on building that system. And when it arrives, which I don't know when that will be, could be a couple weeks to a month. In the meantime, as JC told us, there are plenty of lead capture pages out there. There are plenty of contact managers or marketing systems. Use one. So that's what we did. We selected one. We found a contact manager, and that contact manager happens to be totally in place. The company has great support, great lead capture pages, great autoresponders, letters already built in, and the system is really ready to go. Our goal was to find a capture page that was generic, and when they filled out the information, they would end up on the new Power of 3 Squared website. And that's what we have decided to do. Now, some of us have actually gone to this particular company. Once again, please don't ask what it is online here. If you want that information, you contact us privately at the number, the email address we gave you. We'll give it to you at the end again. But research consistently reveals companies, both small and large, that implement capture pages in their online marketing efforts show an increase in conversions as high as 700%. Well, keep this in mind. The person's name is in your contact manager. It tells you what letter they're actually on. In other words, if you're going to send them invitation letters to look at your information, it's going to keep track of that for. It's going to tell you the people that are there, and you can manage it from there. And you know what? You can wait till they get a whole bunch of letters and hope they click on, fill out the information, or you can call these people. It's important that we communicate if we're looking for people to be customers or people to be customers by way of being an affiliate or a community member. Either way, those two things create transactions. Remember, in order to get paid, you have to be in the middle of the transaction. Be in the middle of where money is and where money is going. A contact manager will keep everything organized for you. Now, the program and contact manager and marketing system we chose, it cost money. And let me make this clear. This has nothing to do with any other company, including Power of Three Squared. It has nothing to do with them, other than we're building it so people will see our websites. It's not used to spam. It's used to send to people, hoping that they will have enough information to fill out the capture page and then follow up with them. But this is not part of Power of Three Squared. It is something that was said, hey, was told to us, find a contact manager until we get this going. Or even when we get it going, maybe you'll want to spend money to do this one. As opposed to $3 a month, this one's going to cost $12.50 a month. Actually, it's the best one I've ever seen in all these years. So it's important that you understand that you need a contact manager. So in this company, the benefits, I mean, there are many. There are a range of proven capture pages. We have selected one capture page to use for Power of Three Squared because all it does for 1 minute and 24 seconds, it gives enough information to get the person curious enough to fill out the information to get to our websites. And pages are being added monthly. You can send thousands of emails each month, store unlimited number of leads, campaigns, statistics and analytics, create and track unlimited campaigns for maximum market potential. I can tell you, there are very few systems out there that you can track unlimited campaigns. Usually you're only allowed a couple campaigns for anywhere from $30 to $70. Again, $12.50. And our team is using it and we're setting it up. We've been studying it now for a couple of weeks and we're ready to use it. You have SMS notifications. So you can use, texting notifications when you're taking orders from the capture page. Personally written autoresponders, preloaded into the accounts and ready to start sending. If you want to change something, that's not a problem. You can change the letters if you like. They allow you to do that. So here's what some of the people were saying that are using the system. Now, what I just showed you is just a tiny tip of the iceberg. When you're within the back office and system and see exactly what's in place, it's mind-boggling. It's a very, very professionally run and customer service friendly company, and they know what they're doing. These are business people, and they've been around a long time. Every business needs leads. This marketing system is vital to success in this business. This is awesome. If everyone uses this system, they will see an improvement in their business. Brilliant. Jimmy H. from Texas. We have other people talking about Eureka. You did it. Thanks for the 5-star response in customer service. Thanks again for help in solving my problem. Warmly, I want the world to know about you. So, I mean, we could go on and on with testimonials. Now, I want to talk about this with business now. We are building, we have finished the new website for Power of Three Squared. Tonight, they'll be launching the new 7 Rings of Wealth and Wisdom 2.0. And from that point is when JC, after we launched that, wanted to launch the new website for Power of Three. Power of Three Squared is the portal to the other programs. And by the way, there are 11 income sources in Power of Three Squared and its cooperative business model. Power of Three Squared manages the companies, the cooperative business model programs that are attached. Power of Three Squared consists of a marketing system, which is $3 a month, training, and the portal to the cooperative businesses, such as 7 Rings of Wealth and Wisdom, which has 7 classes in there, educational classes, and every one of those has its own income source. And then there's 2 more companies launching in the future. But I encourage everyone, as JC does, is to enter through Power of Three Squared. Why? All the people that actually register with you follow you into the other programs. If you bring them in any other way, in 7 Rings first, they are not necessarily going to follow you to the other programs. So if you want 11 sources of income, and by the way, there's even more, I'm not going to get in all the details. There are other sources of income within those sources. So if you want those people to follow you automatically, then you should join Power of Three Squared first. It automatically has those people follow you when they join the other programs. Some people are losing people in other programs because they didn't bring them in through the front door, so to speak, the portal, the hub. It's not mandatory to do that, but I suggest you do it so that everybody follows you through. Once you bring them to Power of Three Squared, then, and by the way, that is also paid forward. Now, there's been many of pay it forward systems out there that people didn't like, didn't work. This is unique. It's attached to a cooperative business model, and it has an effective plan to make the pay it forward system work. So if someone registers Power of Three Squared, it should be paid for. It's not mandatory, but it should be paid forward by the person who invited them. And then you continue your monthly payment on your own from there. But it enables people to easily come in. All the programs you join for free, that most of them join for free. And then someone can either pay it forward, you can actually pay it yourself, but I suggest the reason you want someone to pay it forward is when you pay it forward for someone, you get a pay it forward bonus. They call it a PIF bonus, and it's very lucrative. So I suggest you look that up and get educated there. But the bottom line to all this is all this has to be managed and understood. You cannot control the results of any campaign or any company. You can only control the activity, which is what controls the results. So here's the first thing you should do. If you haven't done this yet, in any business you're in, regardless of whether you're listening from the Power of Three Squared people or any other company, you have to first decide what it is you want to accomplish. You've registered with the company. Now, what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to bring 10 people into the program? I suggest that be a good target. Question is, how do you do that? But the first thing is you have to decide what it is you want to do. If you want to bring people in as members, then you have to find a way to do it. So if you just send out emails and call people and you don't track it, you're not going to make it. History shows that to be true. So you have to organize yourself and start tracking. Start organizing that part of your business. First, what is it that I have to do? What is my target here? What do I want to accomplish? And if it is, I want to bring 10 people to the community, then you must find a way to do it. First thing is, yes, you make a list of those people, or you may buy leads. You may know a lot of people, might be in your database, but either way, you still have to start communicating with people. An autoresponder, part of the contact manager system, will allow them to get messages from you until they click on and say, okay, I want more, fill it out. Now you have somebody in the system you can follow up with. You can make phone calls to those people and other people. Ask them to take a look at the website. I would suggest you use a contact manager and ask them to fill that out. Why? Now you know they did it. If you just send them to your website and say, go look at it, you never know if they did it or not. And you'll be probably stuck there making the phone call saying, did you look? And they go, no. Now what do you do? So the second part of that is, now that I know what I want to do, what my target is, how am I going to do it? Email, social media, contact managers. You have to have a game plan to do it. Then you have to decide what days you're going to work. What days will that be? How many hours per week? You have to decide how much money you want to make on a monthly basis to make this worth your time. Let me say that again. Have to decide how much money you want to make on a monthly basis to make this worth your time. These are important questions in business. These are things that people do when they set up, brick and mortar businesses. They do demographics, find out what the target market is in the area. Find out what the age. Now, in our case, we really want to talk to, a targeted group. I mean, you don't want to talk to, with no offense intended, a 16-year-old. I'm guessing that your target market ought to be 25 to probably 60. Married, own their home, have children, and have at least an income of $30,000, $40,000 a year. I mean, that's probably the best market you have. Those are the people you want to speak to. So how do I do it then? When they come in, what is the process? If you don't develop a system or be part of a system that's already developed, not going to make it. I'm just being honest with you. In 23 years now, watching this happen, those who organize their business and have a game plan and work their plan, they become successful. And what tells me is that most of the people don't, which means most of the people aren't operating it like a business. What made me stay here for 22 to 23 years is I was fortunate enough to be around people who taught me how to organize this home business arena stuff. And that's what you have to do. Answer the questions we just talked about. What activities? How will you monitor it? Then you need to know how to talk to them. What do you say to somebody when you... Yeah. I suspect that that's where most of the problem lies, is chasing the people away with the wrong dialogue. And we have classes for that too. You have to learn that, the critical part is when they actually register and join with you. Now what? If you do not have a system for them to follow when they come in, forget it. You'll have them quitting. That's what will happen. So I encourage you to start thinking about your business like a business and get the right tools in place. Write down the things that you need to accomplish. Get a contact manager. If you want this system we're using and want more about it, all you have to do, send an email right there. The Breakfast Club Broadcast at gmail.com. That's all you have to do. And we can discuss that. When the time comes when we have the one that comes with Power of 3 Squared, you can decide which one you want to use. 30-day money-back guarantee, I think, with this one. You can get it started. You can start the whole system off. Cancel at any time. But at least you have something to work with. You need something to work with. So with that, it is Tuesday. They'll be launching the 7 rings this evening. So I hope you pay attention to that. And there'll be trainings during the week. There's trainings for this system as well. One will be Friday night and tonight. But with that, I hope you take to heart what I'm saying. You're not going to make it without organizing your business and having a game plan and having the right tools in place. So this is Joe Shoup here at the Breakfast Club. And I wish you well, and I hope that you find a way to create success in your business for the rest of the year and for the years to come. So with that, thanks for being here. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week at the Breakfast Club. Have a great day, everybody.